Aviation's biggest battle is happening right now between two revolutionary aircraft. The A350 pushes range to unprecedented limits, while the 777X maximizes capacity and economics. But dominance does not mean what you actually think. So here is the real winner as per our in-depth analysis. How far can a modern airliner actually fly without stopping? And how close are we to connecting virtually any two cities on Earth with a single flight? Ultra-long-haul travel is pushing aviation into an extraordinary new phase. Engineering, economics, and passenger comfort all converge in one ambitious goal: fly farther, fly more efficiently, connect cities that previously required stops. Two aircraft sit at the center of this evolution: the Airbus A350-1000ULR and the Boeing 777X. Both represent the absolute forefront of long-range aviation. Both offer capabilities that seemed impossible just 20 years ago. But they approach the challenge completely differently, and understanding which one dominates requires looking beyond simple specifications. The race for ultra-long-haul supremacy has entered a decisive new era. Next-generation wide-body airliners can now connect the farthest points on the globe without stopping. Boeing and Airbus, the industry's two engineering powerhouses, have developed flagship twins, pushing boundaries constantly. The Boeing 777X and Airbus A350-1000ULR both deliver impressive capabilities. Advances in aerodynamics, materials, fuel efficiency, and cabin comfort enable routes that were completely impractical before. Airlines worldwide are evaluating these aircraft not just for range and operational economics, but for how they unlock new non-stop routes. Sydney to London, New York, from Australia's East Coast. These city pairs were impossible for decades. Now, they are becoming routine. Qantas Project Sunrise sits at the forefront of this boundary-pushing effort. The airline aims to launch the longest commercial flights ever flown. Their custom-designed Airbus A350-1000ULR enters service around 2027. Boeing 777X family was in contention for these missions initially, but Airbus ULR variant was ultimately chosen for the record-breaking services. This decision tells you something important about how airlines think about ultra-long-haul flying. Comparing these aircraft reveals how far modern airliners can fly. More importantly, it shows what capabilities airlines actually value when planning global networks. The A350-1000ULR is a specially adapted version of Airbus' latest A350 variant. It is engineered specifically to set new standards in non-stop flight capability. Developed with Qantas for Project Sunrise, the aircraft incorporates additional fuel capacity. A significant rear-center fuel tank adds range. Optimized systems enable flights approaching 22 hours without stopping. This configuration targets the longest city pairs on Earth: Sydney to London Heathrow, Sydney to New York, JFK. Travel time drops by up to 4 hours compared with one-stop services. Airbus has not publicly released official range figures, like Boeing typically does. However, industry estimates suggest the A350-1000ULR can exceed 9,700 nautical miles. That translates to roughly 18,000 kilometers, while still carrying reserves for weather routing and payload requirements. Beyond pure range, the aircraft benefits from the A350 family's advanced composite airframe. Fuel-efficient Rolls-Royce Trent XWB engines provide exceptional performance. The passenger-focused cabin design aims specifically at comfort over extremely long flights. Deliveries to Qantas are planned for the second half of this decade. The A350-1000ULR is expected to redefine the limits of non-stop air travel fundamentally. The Boeing 777X family represents Boeing's latest flagship widebody. It is designed to improve efficiency and performance over earlier 777 models substantially. The family includes the Boeing 777-8 and 777-9 passenger variants, plus a freighter version. The aircraft features new high-efficiency GE9X engines. These are the most powerful commercial jet engines ever certified. Advanced composite wings incorporate folding wingtips for airport compatibility. Updated flight systems draw influence from the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. Boeing's strategy with the 777X centers on offering larger capacity and long range simultaneously. Operating costs and emissions decrease compared with earlier wide-bodies. This combination appeals to airlines operating dense hub-to-hub routes. The Boeing 777-8 leads the family in range capability. Maximum reach extends approximately 8,745 nautical miles or 16,190 kilometers. The longer 777-9 has range around 7,285 nautical miles or 13,500 kilometers, but carries significantly higher passenger capacity. These aircraft rank among the largest and most capable wide-bodies Boeing has ever produced. They are designed to connect distant city pairs with high payloads and large passenger counts. Spacious twin-aisle cabins provide modern passenger amenities, making them attractive for flagship long-haul routes. From an operational perspective, the Boeing 777X family and Qantas Airbus A350-1000ULR optimize for fundamentally different missions. Boeing positions the 777X, especially the 777-9, as a high-capacity, long-haul workhorse. Dense hub-to-hub markets benefit most. Layouts accommodate more than 400 passengers comfortably. Folding wingtips help the aircraft fit existing airport gates despite its massive wingspan. By contrast, the Airbus A350-1000ULR targets ultra-long thin routes. Endurance matters more than seat count for these missions. Qantas says its specially configured aircraft will fly up to 22 hours non-stop using the additional fuel tank and enhanced systems. The aircraft will be deliberately configured to approximately 238 or 239 seats. This allows sufficient fuel capacity while maintaining comfort on extremely long flights. Premium seating dominates the cabin layout. In network terms, these aircraft serve completely different strategic purposes. The Boeing 777X shines when demand cargo and slot constraints reward its scale. High traffic routes like Dubai to London or Singapore to Los Angeles benefit from maximum capacity. The A350-1000ULR shines when airlines want non-stop routes that would be marginal with larger aircraft. A 777X can rotate through a wider mix of long-haul routes efficiently. But a 22-hour ULR mission requires special crew planning, recovery time, and maintenance buffers. Looking at sales provides interesting perspective. The Boeing 777X has a larger order backlog overall. However, the program story ties directly to certification and production timing. Emirates expanded its 777X order book to around 270 aircraft at the Dubai Air Show in 2025. This shows strong demand from major global carriers. But delays have affected the program significantly. Boeing removed some orders from its backlog during certification challenges. First delivery is expected later this decade. The Airbus A350-1000 has sold more steadily. The aircraft is already in service with hundreds of orders. More than 100 aircraft have been delivered. Airlines like Air Canada continue placing new orders regularly. The A350-1000ULR itself occupies a more niche position. Qantas ordered 12 aircraft for Project Sunrise, with deliveries expected around 2026 to 2027. While the 777X may have stronger total orders, the A350-1000 family already has proven operational experience. Qantas chose the Airbus A350-1000ULR because it best fits Project Sunrise core requirement. The aircraft can reliably operate non-stop flights from Australia's East Coast to London and New York. These missions extend up to 22 hours. For the first time, Australia will effectively be a one-flight destination for many travelers. The aircraft's additional rear center fuel tank and enhanced systems provide the fuel margin needed for headwinds and operational contingencies. Qantas is pairing this capability with a low-density cabin focused on premium seating and passenger well-being. The airline is designing its onboard product around comfort for extreme flight durations. A well-being zone and features aimed at reducing jet lag are included. These non-stop routes also cut overall journey time by several hours. So which aircraft dominates? The answer is not what most people expect. At the end of the day, the Airbus A350-1000ULR is designed and optimized for one specific purpose: flying the longest non-stop commercial routes ever attempted. It does this better than anything else in existence. Boeing 777X is not meant to compete directly in that exact niche. It is a highly advanced evolution of the 777 family. It offers excellent efficiency and capacity, but it does not match the extreme range capability of the A350-1000ULR. However, dominance is not about specifications. It is about market needs. The truth is, both aircraft dominate their respective segments completely. The A350-1000ULR dominates ultra-long-haul thin routes where range is paramount. No other aircraft can compete for routes like Sydney to London or Sydney to New York non-stop. The Boeing 777X dominates high-capacity long-haul routes where passenger volume matters most. No twin-engine aircraft carries more people more efficiently on routes like Dubai to London or Singapore to Los Angeles. These are not competing aircraft. They are complementary aircraft serving fundamentally different market needs. Airlines choosing between them are not really choosing at all. They are identifying which mission profile matters more for their specific network. Emirates needs capacity, Qantas needs range. Both get exactly what they need. The A350 versus 777X competition seems like a battle. It is actually two aircraft dominating completely different segments without directly competing. Together, these aircraft show how aviation is evolving. The Boeing 777X focuses on capacity and efficiency for major routes. The Airbus A350-1000ULR pushes the limits of nonstop range. Both approaches expand what airlines can do. Passengers get more direct routes. Global travel networks reshape in the years ahead. The real winner is not one aircraft. The real winner is the passenger. Someone flying Dubai to London benefits from the 777X capacity and comfort. Someone flying Sydney to London benefits from the A350ULR nonstop capability. Different passengers, different needs, different aircraft, both dominating their segments completely. Aviation does not have to choose between these aircraft. The industry needs both. High-capacity routes require the 777X. Ultra-long-haul routes require the A350ULR. Simple as that. So who dominates both do just not in the way anyone expects. One dominates capacity, one dominates range, neither competes directly with the other. The A350 versus 777X battle is not really a battle at all. It is two manufacturers developing exactly the right aircraft for two completely different missions. And passengers worldwide benefit from both.